All right, it's showtime. I'm going to share with you guys today all of my Instagram tips. I'm going to be sharing with you how to have a captivating bio, build meaningful relationships on the platform, have potential buyers and sellers reaching out to you, get more followers, and how to utilize Insta Stories. So I recently did this presentation, which is what I'm looking at down here, for the Sales and Marketing Council for the Northeast Florida Builder Association. It was such an awesome class. Great turnout, wonderful feedback, so I wanted to record a video of me going over the entire presentation for you. So I'm going to try to run through this as quickly as possible because I'm trying to record this video for you before we do our mastermind call. So hopefully I'm not talking too quickly, but you obviously can just go back and rewatch. But if you don't already know, Amanda Knight and I, she's a real estate agent out in Texas. Her and I host a weekly mastermind call, and it's open to all real estate agents all over the country, completely free. And we share the link in my Insta stories every Wednesday. The call is at 6 p.m. Eastern, or 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. Such a mouthful. And yeah, we would love to have you join us if you haven't yet. It's a live Zoom call. So yeah, I'm going to share with you. Let's get into the details. I want you to be able to take advantage of one of the most used platforms in the world. So I recently, I've been posting on Instagram since I got into real estate, which I've had my license for 5 years, and something that had popped up on my Facebook memories was a post that I shared a year ago. Actually, let's see if I can show you right here. That was a screenshot of the post, and it says, "Thank you, 7,000 followers." And I was posting this a year ago on my Facebook, and I was telling everybody, like, thank you so much for these 7,000 people that have followed me. And if you aren't already following me, you should, because I share a ton of tips for buyers, sellers, and real estate agents. And I just thought this was such a cool memory because I realized a year ago I had 7,000 followers, and now I have 14,600. So I have doubled my following in the last year. I didn't even realize that. I'm not super laser focused on the followers and the likes because I don't think that's important. I'm just trying to engage with my audience and not obsessing about those numbers. So I didn't even realize that I had doubled, but I thought that was pretty cool and I wanted to just share that with you. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to discuss is optimizing your bio. I think it's really important to be able to give people a good first impression. So having a really good photo as your main photo, and having a good description, having highlights set up, and good quality photos, which we're going to break down into each of those topics. But one thing that I want to mention first before we get into the bio is I get asked this question a lot, and that's if people say, should I have a personal account and then should I have a business account? Two separate accounts, right? I get asked this all the time, and my answer, in my opinion, is that you should just have one account. Because I mean, just me having this one account it's so much. I can imagine having to manage two accounts. So the reason why I mentioned having just one, because if you're showing your personality and you're showing your personal life, you're showing behind the scenes on your personal profile, but then on your business one, you're more about posting about houses, your new listing, your just closed, market stats, new neighborhoods. That is not interesting at all. And you're not going to get a lot of engagement. I don't think you're going to get a lot of interest, and it's going to be really hard to build that trust and that relationship with people on social media if you're just all business. So I think you should just have one account. I think it's great to post 80% personal, 20% business. A convention I went to recently, I really liked how she broke down this formula of 3 personal posts and then 1 business post. So a 3-to-1 ratio I thought was a really cool idea. So what's really cool about a business account also, like actually having your Instagram account set up as business, is you get a lot of benefits. One is you are capable to boost these posts in front of people that wouldn't normally have seen your profile. You can't do that on a personal account. You can also see data and insight. So it has really cool features where you can see what age range of people are looking at your account, your followers. So maybe you'll be able to gauge on the type of content to share. If it's a man or a woman, like what percentage of men and women, what time of day is like the best time of day for you to post based off of your account, and time of day and days of the week. It'll give you suggestions on what are your busiest, most active times for followers on your account. So there's a lot of really good insights that you get with the business account. Okay, so I think you should have your profile set up to where people are able to recognize where you live and where you're from, because something that we're going to get into later is engaging and meeting people off this platform. And if they don't even know, like, does this person live here, it could be really beneficial for you to have on your profile where you're located. And also, there's been so many times where, because I'm engaging with a lot of real estate agents, and that's been a huge part of my business, is realtor referrals. And if I am thinking, I find realtors all the time for referrals on Instagram, and people are finding me, like, this is working for realtor referrals. And when I go to search to find an agent in a particular area, but it doesn't say that where they live, then I'm probably not going to reach out to them. There's been times where I was, for example, I was looking for an agent in Charleston, and there was an agent that came to mind that I have spoken to on Instagram, and I went to her profile because I was just thinking, about past conversations, and I was thinking that, does she live in Charleston? I think she does. And I went to her profile and it said nothing about how she lives in Charleston. And so I went and looked for somebody else, because I'm just like, you should have where you live, what areas you service on your profile. I think it's really important. And having good keywords, like how can people find you? List your market, keywords after your name or your bio, or in the bio. List your city, market, what are you known for, maybe your niche. I think you need to shine like a diamond and, figure out, how do you stand out? How are you different from other real estate agents? Get straight to the point, use emojis. I see all the time people, something silly, I think, is they'll have like their pet's name and like the dog emoji, and it's just not really that different, unless that's like your niche and you're in a market. I know of an agent where she's built her business off of the dog park. So I feel like she could really make that her niche, and that's something creative. But if you're just randomly listing your dog and you hardly have photos of them on there, I just don't really see the benefit. You want to showcase how you're different from other agents. So on mine, I have Florida Realtor, because I want people to definitely think of me for anywhere in the state, because obviously I can send them to another agent if it's not in my actual area. But I also have the pin location emoji, and it says Jacksonville, Florida. Two things that I leverage and I always want to showcase is how I was on HGTV Beachfront Bargain Hunt renovation, and I was voted the #3 realtor in Jacksonville on social media, and I'm going to leverage this probably for a long time. So that's something I feel like makes me a little bit different, and it's something that fits really well in an Instagram bio, right? So a couple of examples that I thought I could share with you is, are you a top producer? Have you won any awards? Even if it's something not where it has to do with sales, like were you Rookie of the Year, or I received a Rising Star plaque before. Leverage everything. Were you featured in an article, in a magazine, newspaper? Put your contact information, phone number, email. One thing that I really leveraged was, in the beginning, I didn't have a lot of business, and I had gotten certified for a couple new construction neighborhoods. One really big one here in Northeast Florida is Nocatee. So I went in, I got my certification to be a Nocatee certified agent. I hadn't even sold in Nocatee yet, but I leveraged it like crazy. I had it on my email signature. It was on my Instagram bio. I had it on LinkedIn. And I would share Nocatee listings, and I would leverage and say that I was a Nocatee certified agent, even though it was something very, very simple to get. But I just felt like this was a way for me to easily help leverage myself and showcase. And so I highly recommend doing that. If you're a newer agent and you don't have a lot of credentials yet, or you're just really struggling to figure out how you shine, that might be something for you to look into. Upload a brand friendly photo. I think it's really important for you to share, the same logo, and for it to be close up on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and your Zillow profile. So not just on Instagram. I will say that my photo is not close up, but I have the Jacksonville skyline in the background, and I feel like that works. So don't feel as though you have to listen to all these tips and do everything verbatim as I'm saying. No, just take a couple nuggets and tweak a couple things that you have going on, take a couple suggestions. I mean, if you get a couple things out of this, that will be so beneficial for you, but don't feel like you have to do everything that I'm mentioning to the T. We're all so different. So I've got a couple of suggestions on here. Have a clear, well-lit, lifestyle-friendly, modern, stylish photo. Showcase your vibe, your team, your personality. I don't think you should use your logo or an old listing or a really dated headshot. Let's see, what other tips do I have on here? If you have, branding is huge, and you should use Instagram to brand yourself. Set up your highlights. I think having, highlights could be a whole other topic, but I will explain real briefly that when you post an Instagram story, they only stay up for 24 hours. But now with highlights, you have the opportunity to highlight that photo or that video for infinity. And so what you'll do is upload the Insta story like normal. Then after you upload it, there's an option at the bottom for you to highlight it, and you can set up different categories. Now, when it comes to the highlights, they are featured on your front page of your Instagram, and you have the option to add photos. So if you go to my Instagram, which is @soulbystevie, you can see that I have black and white photos, text, and it just says mentorship, mastermind, Jack's realtor, real estate life, couple different topics. But you can get really creative with these and feature different communities, do behind the scenes. I have one titled as Jack's, and it's just different areas in Jacksonville, videos that I posted in my story, and then added them to my highlights. So what I want you to get out of that is to create highlight covers, so that when they go to the page, they see the covers. It's all in the same font, same color, same font style, and it just looks in sync. Stunning images, having, I don't do the same filter on every photo, but I have seen profiles that do have the same filter or the same preset on the photos, so that it just looks really in sync on the page. Having good photos though, just well lit, bright, and post with a plan. Okay, on to the next thing. We're gonna talk about Insta stories. We're gonna dive in deep. So the beauty with stories, and what I really love, is that there is no expectation for them to be polished. I actually love Insta stories and live videos so much more than anything that's scripted, because I feel like when I'm doing a scripted video, for a listing presentation or a YouTube video where I'm giving buyer and seller tips, and I just want it to be good, I want to make sure I get all that content in there, I'm feeling that pressure that it has to be perfect, and then I'm really struggling. So videos are hard. This isn't easy, and I just feel like Insta stories and live videos are so much better because there isn't that expectation for it to be polished. And you know what? If your videos suck at first, it's okay, because I promise you will get better. I will never forget this. My first Facebook Live, which I've kept it up, and I love seeing it when it pops up on my stories. Let me check the time, make sure we're okay. All right, we got 20 minutes. I always love seeing it on Facebook Memories because I can see how much growth I have had over the years. My first Facebook Live, it was in this neighborhood called Julington Creek, and I was in the backyard. And so this was a couple years ago, probably about 4.5 years ago. And I was outside with a selfie stick. Remember when selfie sticks were really popular? I was outside doing a Facebook Live with my selfie stick. It was so windy out. My hair was blowing around like crazy. And I was, every time I watched the video back, I'm like, why didn't I just go inside? It was clearly so windy outside, and it just looked ridiculous in the video. And so I'm doing this live, and when people hop on the live and they're asking questions, I couldn't see what the text was saying because I had a selfie stick. So I was pulling the selfie stick closer, and I'm like this up to the phone, and I looked ridiculous. The video was horrible, but you get better, and that's how you learn. You learn, okay, I needed to go inside. I needed to not have the selfie stick, and I never used it again after that. And I need to not put the phone so close to my face. That's just a couple of examples. You're just gonna learn through the process. Okay, so let's see. So I love Instagram stories. I feel like it really, really helps with my engagement. When I'm posting a lot of stories, doing behind the scenes, I notice when I don't have stories going, I'm having less engagement and less likes on photos. And it's really cool on stories. There's a lot of features, and I could really dive in a lot more. But when you're on Insta stories and after you do your video or after you share a photo, I feel like you need to do more videos than just photos. But after you post it on the story, you just swipe up, and then you have all these options of really cool features for the Insta story. A couple of them are polls, so getting people engaged, and there's a questions box, so you can ask a question, have people provide feedback. There's a scale thing where you can have an emoji, and you could ask somebody hey, do you guys really like this property? Have the scale thing up so they can slide over. So this is a great opportunity to get engagement, but make sure that you're being social back and you're commenting back on, how they voted or what their question was or what their feedback was with the questions option. So I hope that made sense, but I'm going to give you a couple ideas for Insta stories. I have listed on here, you could do a virtual open house preview, which means you get all set up at your open house and you just go through the property, do some Insta stories, do an Instagram live of the property that you're at, inviting people to come out and showcase that you're doing an open house. I've even, had fun with it and did stories while I was putting out the signs and showcasing how not glamorous real estate is. Let's see, new construction previews. You could do stories, go out to new construction neighborhoods, showcase these properties, showcase that you can help anyone with new construction, maybe mention some of their incentives, interview a site agent. You could do resale previews. So any house that's on the market, why not do some marketing for yourself and for that agent? You could do a story just doing a preview of a resale. Post photos of your outings, events, dinners, trainings, anything else you or your team attends. Photos of your life as it's happening. You can geotag your location, which can help with engagement and potentially other people finding you. So like I mentioned, after you post the story or the video, you just swipe up, and then there's a location tab, and you'll just click on that and you can type in where you're at, the community, the county, the city, the state. And if people are following one of those locations, you can potentially come up and they'll like your content and they'll want to follow you, and then you get to engage with them and meet somebody new. Show people how things work behind the scenes. people seem to love that on my Insta stories, and I'm constantly trying to share every day a little bit behind the scenes. We do so much as real estate agents that we don't get paid for, and so I've always been showcasing that and leveraging it. You know, we're doing open houses, we're doing floor duty, touring resale, new construction, going to trainings. You're doing this, watching this YouTube video right now. Why not showcase it to your social media platforms that you're trying to learn more about social media, trying to better your business? I just always leverage all of those things. I'm not getting paid to do it, so why not showcase it on social media? And what has really been what has really clicked with me is when I first started, I started sharing all these things, right? Like, I wasn't sharing that I had closings because I just got started. I was just sharing all these things I've just mentioned to you. And I started running into my friends, and my friends would be like, wow, Stevie, it looks like you're having so much fun and you're killing it. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay, think I'm on to something here, because 5 years ago when I got into social media, it was not like how it was now. And there were not all these trainings. I've still yet to go to a social media training. So, you know, I'm really just sharing with you what has worked for me genuinely. And I think that could be really beneficial for you. But anyways, couple more content ideas. Giveaways, you can do insta takeovers. So you could collaborate with another real estate agent and take over each other's Insta stories. You could share buyer-seller tips. You could do, like I mentioned, polls, questions, this or that, get people engaging and engage back. And then lastly, I love the swipe up feature. If you have 10,000 followers, you get this feature. So where you can do a video, you can post a photo, and for example, like I can do a video and be like, hey guys, I have this new listing on 123 Main Street, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, swipe up so that you can get more information. And I can put in the link, they can swipe up. It makes it super easy instead of being like, hey, links in the bio. I love that feature, but you do have to have 10,000 followers. I hope this is beneficial for you. Let me know in the comments. Let me know what other questions you have, and I'm more than happy to get back to you and dive in a little deeper. Something I want to mention, the next topic, is consistency is key. I have been posting consistently on Instagram for 5 years. This did not just happen overnight. Let me see, what notes do I have on here? Okay, so currently, when I did this presentation, I had 2,315 posts, and that was the total number of posts I've had in 5 years. So that breaks down to 463 posts a year, and get this, that averages to 38 posts a month. So I have been consistently posting every single day, and some months I was posting more than once a day. That is consistency. And I would also do, when Instagram stories came out, constantly posting every single day Insta stories. If you're really struggling with staying consistent, and you need some help, there's some really good apps out there. One that I have on here is Hootsuite. I have another one, Buffer, Schedugram, Hopper HG. Those were just other ones that I found from Googling, but I actually have used Hootsuite before. I'm not currently, it's been a couple of years, but you can schedule your content ahead of time. So in the Hootsuite portal, you can take that photo, you can take that video, you can schedule in for what day, what time, and it'll automatically shoot out to your social media platforms. It syncs with Facebook and LinkedIn as well, and I think that's it, I'm not sure. Okay. So we got to talk about video. Video is so in. In 2021, video will account for over 80% of the world's internet traffic. It's not going anywhere. You've got to get comfortable with videos. Social media generates 1,000% more shares in text and images combined. Video drives 157% increase to organic traffic from search engine results. Video on landing pages can increase conversion by 80% more. I've got all these stats right here for my numbers, people. Like, video is so in, it's not going anywhere. Start practicing. I'm going to give you some video content ideas that I have listed here. Behind the scenes, that's the best thing. I've been doing on YouTube a day in the life of a realtor, but I really do that every day on stories. Top three things to do to get your home on the market. How should you choose a listing agent? What is the most important marketing a listing agent can provide? These are all really good topic ideas that you could do in 5 minutes. Top 3 places to market your home, biggest bang for your buck, top 5 things to consider doing before you list your home, how to make the most out of open houses, feature business owners, highlight events, market updates, interview new construction site agents, home inspectors, lenders, appraisers, attorneys, stagers, movers. There's so many people that are on our team, right, that we're working with, communicating with on a daily basis. Why not showcase them and their business as well? And then you get some videos out of it. Customer testimonials, that's a really good one. So it's time to accept no one, including you, is perfect. Your family loves you, your friends love you, your customers love you. Now go shoot that video. Everybody already knows what you look like anyways. So some live video tips. I will say, if you do a video, especially a live video, tag me, because I would love to cheer you on. Sometimes it's just nice to have someone give you a little extra push and just tell you that you're doing a good job and that you got this. But some live video tips that I've learned is when people hop on, okay, we got 10 minutes till the mastermind call, so I'm gonna try to knock this out. When people jump on the call, say hello, interact with viewers as they sign on, ask them if they can hear you and see you. Like, make sure everything's all good and you're not wasting your time and you're not speaking and no one can hear you, right? Know what you're going to talk about. Get straight to the point. Your best hot topics, whatever you're about to discuss, like, have the really good points in the beginning. Start with the most interesting point you have. Be authentic, be open, be you, end with a call to action. So I like to do that also on posts, is like ending with a call to action. So to dive in a little deeper on call to actions, I have found the most engagement with this, because if I post a photo or a video and I've just got stats or something boring in the caption, people are just gonna look past it. Okay, whatever. But if you ask people a question, or their opinion on something, like, everyone loves to share their opinion, right? So here's some examples of how you can drive fans and followers to take action via captions, and that's simply by asking a question. Encourage sharing via hashtag and regrams. Publish, tag a friend. That really helps encourage conversations and for you to get in front of other people. So if you're like, tag a friend who would love this white quartz countertop, and then they tag a friend, and then now this person gets to see your profile, and you could potentially get a new follower that way and engage. It's so much more than just the like and the follow. You gotta engage. You could do giveaways. That helps with call to actions, because people will have to comment and like. Doing like a segment of like this or that, like, which one do you like better? Which one would you prefer? Like mountain view or beach view, which one do you like better? You could do where you could put 4 things on the photo, on the collage, and label them A, B, C, and D, and ask people like which one would they prefer. Post below A, B, C, or D. Even asking for emoji responses, like, hey guys, this is a quick example that I'm just thinking of, but like, what's your favorite emoji? Okay, we're gonna talk about hashtagging. So I love hashtagging. I think it's so beneficial. There's been so many times that people have found me from hashtagging. I'll share with you this quick story. I had this guy reach out to me through email, and he said him and his wife were looking to buy, and they were living in the Bartram Springs area. They were already pre-approved, and I was like, okay, great. So we met up. We went out at Starbucks, and I did a whole buyer consult. And at the end of the buyer consult, I said, hey, who referred you to me so that I could thank them? And he was like, actually, we found you on Instagram because we follow the hashtag St. Augustine, and they just saw all of my posts. And I was able to build that credibility, that relationship with them. They felt like they trust me. And some ideas of hashtagging is just particular areas, cities, zip codes, states. I have a couple examples on here that are micro local to Jacksonville, hashtag stuff to do in Jax, hashtag only in Jax, hashtag I love Jax, hashtag 904. So those are just a couple quick ideas. I gotta really wrap this up. So this slide right here is about being social on social media, which I've mentioned. Collaborating with business entrepreneurs, influencers, really engage. Reach out to people that you feel like you could be friends with. Build your database with this platform. Sorry. Build your database with this platform, and ask people like, hey, I'm going to this event, this women's event. Would you like to come with me? Do you want to grab coffee? Do you want to get happy hour? Or it looks like we like, yoga. I'm going to this yoga class if you want to come. Like, build your database for free on this platform and find, like-minded people. Make your presence more human. Beyond comments, anything you do to show off the human side of your brand through your Instagram content is a major plus. Like, for example, when I'm doing stories, they're not perfect. I mess up, I stutter. You've even noticed on this video probably it's not perfect, but people want to see you. They want to see you being real, and they're not expecting you to be perfect. And you're relatable. So you just got to roll with it. Okay, so that wraps it up. Super quick. Let me know in the comments if this was beneficial. I am trying to push out as much YouTube content as I can, so make sure that you are subscribing. Follow me on Instagram at Sold by Stevie, and I hope to see you soon.